I'm Jash Patidar and I'm a student of International Institute of Professional Studies, and I'm making this video as a part of my college curriculum under the guidance of Mr. Vivek Srivastav sir. In this video, we'll see how to create and launch a virtual machine using AWS. And later in this video, we'll also see how to create AWS Simple Storage Service to store large binary files. So I've already logged into my AWS account. To create and launch a virtual machine, we'll use EC2 service offered by AWS. With EC2, we can create an instance of virtual machine and easily configure the capacity and scaling of instances. So let's move ahead and search EC2 from the search bar. Let's click this EC2 under the services. This will take us to the EC2 dashboard. You can see all the instances that we've created so far. So I have these two instances, out of which one is already in a running state and the other one is in terminated state. We'll create another instance by clicking on this launch instance button. We'll have to go through some sequence of steps before we launch a machine. The first step is to choose an Amazon machine image, which is AMI. AMI is a template that contains software configuration like operating system, application server, and applications that are required to launch our instance. So out of all these AMIs, let's choose Ubuntu. And the next step is to choose instance types. Instance types are basically combinations of various CPUs, memory, storage, and networking capacity. And we have the flexibility to choose any mix of resources that are fit for our applications. So I'll choose this T2 macro as of now, and this T2 macro will give us one CPU and 1 GB of memory. We'll move to the next step, which is to configure instance details. This has some advanced details which are not as such required, so we'll keep them all to default and move to the next step of adding storage, where we can attach a volume to our virtual machine. We can configure the size of this volume according to our needs. By default, it is 8 GBs. We can increase it to by any amount whichever we need. I'll keep it 8 GBs only and move to the next step of adding tags. This step is an optional step, so we'll skip it and move again to the next step, which is configuring security groups. Security groups are a place where we can allow specific traffics to reach our instance. For example, if we want to set up web servers and allow internet traffics to reach our instance, we can add rules that allow unrestricted access to the HTTP and HTTPS port. So let's add a HTTP rule. We'll choose the type as custom TCP rule and TCP protocol. The port at which HTTP operates is 80, so we'll choose 80 as our port, and we'll choose the source as custom or maybe anywhere. This will allow access from all the IPv6 and IPv4 addresses. Likewise, we can also add a rule for HTTPS ports, which is 443. For the time being, let's continue with this HTTP port only. The next step, we can remove all the options that we have chosen so far, and since everything looks good to me, we can launch the instance by clicking on this button. AWS also adds a extra layer of security that is of this key pair, which are required to access our instance. We need to create some key pair that would be required while accessing this website. So we'll simply create a new key pair and we'll give name to this key pair as new test key, and simply download it from here. Once we download this key pair, we are ready to launch this instance. This should take some while to launch this instance. It's in progress. So you can see our instance has been successfully launched. We can give its logs too, and this says that launching has been initiated, and let's see what's its current state. So this is our new instance that we have created, and it's in pending state right now. It should take some time to get into the running state. But once it gets into the running state, we can connect to it simply from this console also, or maybe by SSH. Now our instance is in running state. Let's click on it and let's click on connect. Let's try another way of connecting, which is through SSH. So I have this key pair downloaded in my downloads folder. We'll try the SSH to connect us using the command prompt. We'll use this command to SSH. Our key pair was new test. We'll need the IP address of our machine in order to connect it. So let's go to this instance detail, and here we have this IP address, which is 13.15.244.11. We'll simply copy it and paste it over here. This should allow us to access the instance. So yes, we are into the machine, and since you can see we have logged into our machine, which is an Ubuntu. So let's see what we have here. Let's create a directory over here. So this directory has been successfully created, and we can also delete it with this command. Okay, so our instance is properly running. So let's now move ahead to the second part of our video, which is to configure a storage service that we can use to store large binary files or maybe assets. We'll store all this in S3. AWS provides us simple storage service as S3, where we can put all these objects. So let's move to the S3 console. Basically, we add buckets where we store all this data. Let's create a bucket. To create a bucket, we'll have to give it a name which should be globally unique. So I'll choose name as temp s3 bucket demo. So let's move ahead with this name. Let's see if it is globally unique. In case it's not, AWS will prompt us to enter another name. The second detail is AWS region. Well, usually we choose a region that is near to our target audience. So for now, let's keep this as default, which is US is 2. And the other important setting is this block access, where AWS by default blocks all the public access to our bucket. We can simply uncheck this so that all the assets that we have in the bucket are publicly accessible. But it's not a good practice, so we'll keep it as default that all the public access is blocked. And we'll simply click on this create bucket. This should create a new bucket in a while. So our bucket is in the reset. We can see open this bucket, and since it has no object right now, we can upload assets to it. Clicking on this button, we can select files or folder, whatever we need. Let's add a file. I'll choose this image to upload. Click on the submit button. So this image has been successfully updated. We can inspect it from here. It has one total files and folders, which is of 612 KB, and this is the same image that I have uploaded. Let's click on it and see. Then simply copy this URL and share it with any other person. Or also we can click on this open button simply over here so that it comes up in the new window. So this was the same image which was uploaded. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.